So today I'm going to walk you through how to take Jingle Bells from something kind of basic. It's fine. Into something truly special. In the spirit of Christmas, I'm going to do it 12 ways. The 12 ways of Jingle Bells. And yeah, I'm going to wear my little Christmas red. My little Christmas red flannel. This is Christmas, season of perpetual hope. So there's a lot of versions of Jingle Bells out there to choose from. And I like every one of them. I think they're all great. The more basic, the better, if you ask me. But there's something to be said about taking a very simple, familiar melody and adding complex and interesting harmonic possibilities to that. And it's one of the most important things I've ever learned how to do as a guitar player. And I want to show you how to do it because I think it'd be cool to take this tune from kind of just like a simple, basic, like your first lesson on guitar kind of tune to something really interesting, something that is memorable. So let's check this out. Let's start with the basic here. So the very basic of Jingle Bells, it's pretty simple. You've got the C chord, couple Fs, moving back to C, and then you just got a bunch of Gs here. Now I'm just using like a super basic fingerstyle pattern. If you're not used to playing guitar like this, I got a bunch of fingerstyle stuff coming down the pike for like the very beginner, so look for that soon. For now, just enjoy the process and you can always come back to this. Now there's kind of two main ways you can add variations to a melody. You can always add chords, right? And we're gonna get into that, trust me. The rest of this video is gonna all be about chords, but a very simple way is just to add rhythmic variation. And the easiest way on guitar is to just add a picking pattern. We can just add some pretty picking, right? That automatically just changes the rhythm. Like the basic Jingle Bells just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, Jingle Bells 4. But this one's like 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells. I like it. It's cool. Now the other way, as I mentioned earlier, is by adding other chords. For this third example, I want to start talking about that because one of the most surefire things you can do is by finding the root chord of the key and changing it to the relative minor. So in the case of C, the relative minor is A. We got a bunch of C's here, so why don't we just add an A at the very end? That would probably work, right? Something like this. I like that, but it kind of does make it randomly dark. So why that works though is there's this thing called common tones. C and A minor have a common tone, and it's that E. And so maybe we could add this earlier because the melody is just a lot of E's, right? So maybe if we add it in the beginning as well, it'll kind of smooth that out and it'll sound less random. Yeah, that definitely helped. That definitely made it feel a little less random, more cohesive. So that's a good thing to know about common tones, finding chords that have tones in common. Now, one of the most beautiful ways you can actually add chords is a little less intuitive, and it's actually by taking chords that don't match with the melody notes. And sometimes this is called color tones. And I think a really cool place to add that could be right here. Take this C and make it an F. Now, check this out. This is beautiful. That's sweet. Are you kidding? That is so beautiful. F major 7 with a 9. Ugh. And you kind of create a little bit of a bass line now, don't you? So the F moves to G, moves to A. So you're kind of going up in alphabetical order there and kind of thinking like maybe we can go with that. Maybe we can find some more places to add bass movement in here. So maybe we do something like this. Walk down to A. Right? Something like that. We could also walk down to F by putting this G underneath that A. So these are called slash chords. So you've got C, and you'd write this as C with B in the bass, and you've got A minor, and you'd write this with A minor with G in the bass, moving to F, moving to G. Now we have like a constant bass motion. Definitely got that like 60s folk singers vibe, that Jackson C. Frank. You got a little John Denver, a little Nico in there a little bit. So that's nice. I really like that kind of thing. I've used that idea in like 500 songs. All right, wow. So we're like halfway through. That was 6. What else can we do? Sounds pretty good so far. Now, something I like to do is taking relative minors from things that aren't the root of the chord. So let me explain. So like if you're in the key of C, A minor is the relative minor to the key of C, and most of us know that. But there's other relative minors. If you look at F, we have a D minor. If you go across the circle there, you got a D minor. So what if we took that F chord, and what if we made a D minor? Now, I think that works pretty well. It works well because we already have this A minor thing happening in the first half, so I think it's a nice easy transition to get to that D minor sound. But now that C sound after D minor isn't really working for me. And there's always something weird about the basic melody is, you know, you've got this F chord and then a F to C. Now another way you can harmonize that is F to C sus to C. That could be another way you go about that. But instead of doing that, what if we change it to A minor? It would actually make it an A minor 6. So we have D minor to A minor 6 to A minor. I really like that. That's definitely like where my ear's going with this harmony. So check this out. So that's the move. It definitely helps with that weirdness of holding F for too long or D minor for too long. It creates more motion, and that sound from A minor 6 to A minor. I think that's how you'd spell that. A minor 6, A minor. It reminds me of the Batman theme. Something wintry about Batman, right? The Michael Keaton Batman. It's got to be the Michael Keaton Batman. And we can also talk about common tones with this minor part too, because D minor, we're on D minor for 2 whole measures. That's ridiculous. So we could also do like a D diminished before A minor. Now we have 3 chord tones on top of that one note. We used to just have one, right? And that was kind of boring, right? Or at least it didn't have a lot of motion, right? So we've got D minor, D diminished, A minor 6, moving to A minor. So that could sound like this. I like that. Now that really works because this little D diminished, all those notes really want to move to this A minor. This brings up the idea of secondary dominance. Now that's like a scary sounding word, I know, but all you have to know is that the 5 chord, it's also called a dominant chord. So in the key of C, the 5 chord is G, right? And we know that. G has a 5 chord all its own, right? And that is D. If you were in the key of G, D would be the 5 chord. So that's why it's called a secondary dominant. So we could add a D chord, D7 even, before that G chord. And that will sound sick. So now we have this brand new chord. And we could do the same idea. We could take the 5 of that chord. Why not, right? So D is technically the 2 chord in the key of C. It's making it 2 major. It doesn't matter, right? But D is the 2. So we'd call this 5 of 2. If you look at the key of D, the 5 of D is A. So we could take that A, that second time we play A, we could make it A7. It would work really, really nice. So we've got D minor moving to D diminished, moving to A13. And now instead of playing A minor here, we could play A7 here before D. So that all together would be something like this. Starting to sound pretty complete now. For this 12th way, I want to go back to my roots, which is I grew up a bass player. And when you grow up with that kind of foundation, you really start to understand the power of root motion. And so I just want to, as like a last thing to do, is find as many places where I can kind of add some kind of bass motion that makes sense. So here's what we can do. We could do this. We could add So we've got C and then B in the bass moving to A, and then we have a G in the bass moving to F, then G and A. Then we could do a C in the bass moving to D minor. Now this D diminished, we could throw an A flat in the bass moving to A. And then we could take this A7 and we could put a C sharp in the bass moving to D. You know, we got two D7s here. We could take an F sharp moving to G. So we're gonna have to learn a couple new chords to do this, but it's really not that bad. So we have C with B in the bass, A minor with G in the bass, F to G to A minor. Now to add C in the bass, you just put your pinky right there. It's actually pretty easy. D minor. Now we have this D diminished idea with A flat in the bass. Now I can't reach that with my finger, but I can reorder these notes to be right here, and then A flat's right there. Our next chord is A minor 6, and I could do that right here. I could even play that even easier by just playing like an A minor 7 chord. That's just easier and it sounds just as good. Even sounds maybe a little bit nicer. Now this next idea is A7 with C sharp in the bass, which you could do, but instead of moving all the way back there, I could play it like this. And then I'm right here for D7. And I could put F sharp in the bass. Then I have to move. Then I really have to move, but it's okay because G's right there. That is sick. That sounds complete. Whew. I like this. I really like this. So that's the 12 ways. That's the 12 ways of Jingle Bells. Now the final outcome looks a little bit insane, but for Christmas, for you, I put together a nice tab with the chords and the picking pattern all figured out, all for you, all for free. If you want to join up and do it at the $5 level, you would get a slow play along as well, but you don't need that. You're not gonna need that. Maybe you need that, I don't know. If you want that, it's there. You also get access to like dozens and dozens of other tabs and slow play along, so that's a pretty cool thing. Now you might be asking yourself, dude, there's another part. There's a whole other part to the song. There is, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear your ideas. Let's keep it going in the comments below. What are some cool chord ideas you would do to the second part of the song, and let's all try them and put together a really cool version of Jingle Bells. I hope you can get ready in time for Christmas or whatever you celebrate, wherever you are. And I hope it helps you make your holiday something truly special. That's all for now. We'll see you soon.